I am done. I will be done. James Anderson has really ruffled the cricketing world with this statement. Don't worry, James Anderson has not announced his retirement yet. But if the pitches are like the way how it is in Edgbaston, then Anderson believes that he may not be able to contribute much in this Ashes. Because if you look at the entire England bowling lineup during the Edgbaston match, Ollie Robinson bowled well, Stuart Broad bowled well, but the one weak link that was there, it was James Anderson. He picked up only one wicket and he conceded runs, and he was pretty ordinary when you look at it. Ordinary for James Anderson, considering that 686 wickets for a pacer, that too in yet another Ashes contest. It is really a telling statement. But James Anderson's statement it exposes the dark underbelly of baseball. When did Anderson thrive? When the pitches were green and when bowlers had a lot more say. Now with the flat pitches, can Anderson have that same potency? It does not look like it, because he has really criticized the Edgbaston wicket, because Anderson just got one wicket and he labelled the pitch as his kryptonite. Now remember, kryptonite for Superman was his ultimate weakness. He would lose all his powers, he would lose all his strengths. The Edgbaston wicket just worked like that. Anderson, writing in his column for the Telegraph, he has made some very telling statement on this Ashes series. He mentions very blatantly that the Edgbaston pitch was like kryptonite for me. There was not much swing, no reverse swing, no seam movement, no bounce and no pace. Oh boy. Imagine James Anderson, this is the James Anderson who put in a magnificent performance on those national highways in Pakistan. He has complained about the Edgbaston wicket in his own home turf. This is very telling. He mentions there was no swing, no reverse swing, no seam movement, no bounce, no pace. So these kind of anti-Anderson pitches could actually be the dark underbelly of baseball. Because remember, Anderson used to thrive on the seaming conditions in the cloud cover that was there. Now that seems to have been taken away from him. Are we going to see James Anderson being potent in this Ashes? And as it carries on, is James Anderson going to be the same? Because remember, he needs 24 wickets more to surpass Shane Warne. If England adopt the baseball technique of pitches, then I think Anderson might not even pass Warne. Maybe he'll realistically, he'll have to look at 700. Edgbaston was the first time where nothing actually worked for James Anderson. He said, I have tried over the years to hone my skills so I can bowl in any conditions. But everything I tried made no difference. I felt like I was fighting an uphill battle. These are very important words, because remember, it's not coming from any pacer. It's coming from one of the greatest of all time if you look at it in Test cricket. James Anderson really admitted that I just could not do it because he was facing an uphill battle. On that Edgbaston wicket where he's had so much success in the past, no seam, no swing, no bounce, no pace. Everything was blunted, and that's why Anderson was the weak link in that entire bowling lineup. Robinson did well, Broad did well. You can look at it, probably Moeen Ali did slightly okay, but dropping Mark Wood on this wicket was a big blunder. They missed out on the raw pace factor, and that's why Australia, with their convention, managed to get going. But the big statement is, it's a long series and hopefully I can contribute at some point. But if all the pitches are like that, I am done in the Ashes series. Which means, if the pitches are like that in Edgbaston, supposing Lords, Leeds, Oval, all these wickets are like the ones in Edgbaston, Anderson openly admits, I am done in the Ashes series. This is a realistic take that Anderson's done, unlike the ones that Ollie Robinson tried to point in his wisdom column when he said that, oh, we've got the wood over Australia. It seemed as if Ollie Robinson was living in a parallel universe, but Anderson is much more realistic. Remember, next month he's going to turn 41. How many more years can Anderson play? It all depends. But if he doesn't do well in this Ashes, I think then the curtains will be called on what will be an epic career. But remember, Anderson has been the sledger-in-chief for England in the past. Australia will know it. Michael Clark said, get ready for a broken arm. And remember, Anderson's gotten into the skin of a lot of players like Mitchell Johnson. For 6 years, they were after each other. Now, when Ollie Robinson was going after Usman Khwaja, we all know that there was a lot of sledging happening. But Anderson's tried to sugarcoat that by saying, I stepped in to chat to Ollie when he and Usman were having an exchange of views in the second innings. But this is where it becomes comical. It was gentle stuff. They were just talking cricket. Talk about Anderson being the smooth talker and trying to sugarcoat it. Well, we all saw what happened. Anderson, unfortunately, might be a slightly delusional on that aspect though. But you saw in the fourth innings that Anderson was really struggling. Fitness, was it fitness? Well, he said that some stiffness, but I put that down to the unique conditions. And we finally got to know what were the unique conditions in Edgbaston. We were running on a very soft outfield. That's why the ball raced across the outfield. Then landing on a rock hard pitch, and that takes its toll on the body. All the bowlers were feeling that a bit. Every time as you went along, the pitch assisted the Australians a lot better. And that's why the likes of Cummins, the likes of Lyon, because it assisted spin, they managed to get much more purchase. Cummins hit the deck, managed to do well. You will also say that Hazelwood, metronomic accuracy, also bogged the England batters down. So, very unique conditions in that way in Edgbaston because it was an anti-Anderson kind of a wicket. But if the same performance continues in the remaining 4 tests, then Anderson's career might be prematurely ending on our, because we were all thinking that perhaps Anderson will want to surpass Shane Warne's tally. But if the wickets continue to be like this, then I think Anderson will have to say, I am probably done with my test career. If that is the case, well, then James Anderson, it has been an epic journey, a tribute to one of the greatest in the business. But if the Edgbaston pitches continue in this entire Ashes series, I think it might be the end of the road for James Anderson. Thank you so much folks for joining us for this video. We'll be back with more updates on Sports Today. Tap that bell icon so you know when we go live, and don't forget we're on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram as well. Thank you.